And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's our last game of the Playday of the stage. I can't believe it. It's come down to this. And it's DWG KIA versus Fnatic. Two teams that are already qualified to the qualifiers for Mexico. They'll have to play to see who can make it so far as they get to Latin America itself. And the seeding is important. Welcome back to the Analyst Desk. I am Melch the Medic. With me are Jess and it's Pirate. And we're going to have a chat about these two squads. Starting off with our Korean teams, DWG KIA, a team that we've looked so keenly onto through this year. They've had a great stage too.
They have had a great stage too, Milosh. I want to go back to something that I said on the very first Playday, and that's that after stage one, I thought this team had a lot of promise and we were going to see a bit more from them, and a bit more we have seen indeed. We've seen them all the way up into the top three. As I said, you know, that's where I expected them to be able to break into as an aspiration for them, and they've achieved it. It's been great from them.
Well, of course, their opponents today are going to be Fnatic. I'm going to call them the rejuvenated Fnatic because they are on something this stage, and I think I'm going to call it on better ping, on better strats, and on better coordination. That's the three things I'm going to throw at you right now. They are looking hot, even though Alphama had to be subbed out due to the location of him at the moment. Once he gets back into the APAC regions, I'm sure they will sub again a player out to get him back in. He was a very highly rated player, but the sub for them is one of their highest rated players of Mentalist. So by any means, this 6-person roster does the work no matter what kind of composition you put forward. Today, they're looking pretty hot, but it depends on the map, I think.
Yeah, I do think so. But before we get to the map, we're very quickly going to go through our head-to-head. We have a tiny bit of time. We're going to use it to our advantage. We got Yas and Mentalist. You talked about Yas being such a great player for DWG, Mentalist for Fnatic yourself. Now, Jess, so what's the comparison?
Well, I mean, Yas is not just a great player for DWG KIA, is he? He's been one of the best players in the stage all round. He's been fantastic. As you pointed out, I think a very important point and worth repeating is look at his main operators. Yeah. You know, this is not a player that's coming in as an Ash Jaeger main, but he's got 75 kills to his name, plus 34 overall, 8 entries. He's just everywhere for this team. He's just so intrinsic to everything that they do.
Outside of CAG and, of course, DWG KIA, the only highest rated player comes from Fnatic, and guess who it is? It's my man Mentalist. I have been hyping him all stage. He's the highest rated player for Fnatic. He's also one of the highest rated players inside of all of APAC North. He does sit just behind Yas in the total leaderboards, but for a player that has come in to sub for another player and is undertaking a different role as a result, just doing fantastic things. I think Mentalist is a hugely underrated player.
Definitely so. Remember the signing of the player almost 2 years ago. It's been a year and a half since then, in November of 2019. So a lot of things have happened since that time. Of course, let's take a look on our map. Then 7 maps down, 6 out, 1 is left. As you say, it will be important. Which one will it be? It'll be Chalet. Clubhouse removed by Fnatic. I see Hap and M rejoicing on the side. No,
not Oregon.
Not Oregon. Happy times.
Chose Chalet?
Okay.
Okay, the reason I'm so confused is because, wait, before I say it, okay, the Korean Summer Open Finals just finished, literally 3 days ago. And of course, they went up against Talon. And in that best of 3, the very first map was Chalet. And do you know what DWG KIA did to Talon? They wiped the floor with them 7-0.
Oh, boy.
So Fnatic are like, you know what? That's 7-0. That looks hot. I'm going to get in on that. And I'm like, I don't think you should get in on that. But I mean, if you win, it just shows how much better you are than DWG KIA. So,
I mean, Chalet is certainly a map that DWG KIA know the way around. I think you don't need to go any further than the result against Talon. You know, it's sort of like Fnatic coming in and saying, we're going to put it on hard mode today. You know, we want that challenge. You know, we're going to just ramp it up and show what we're capable of. But I'm sure they've got a plan.
They have to.
Oh, they
The
should.
thing is, they've got recent information, if nothing else.
That's true. You could counter-strat it. And I would say DWG KIA is the kind of team that does kind of cookie-cutter some of their strats. Yes. Think about Villa. Yep. So maybe it's copy-paste here today. It was only a few days ago. Not enough time.
Could well be that Fnatic have thought about it from that angle.
Ooh.
3s and 7s. That is the question on everybody's mind today. Jess and Ace, thank you so very much. Who takes the upper seed in this game? That is ours for the qualifiers in APAC. See who makes it to Mexico. It's Fnatic and DWG KIA. And we're going to go to the French Alps yet again today. And get yourselves ready for the ski slopes. It is Chalet. And we've got Em and Hap to take us through it. Enjoy.
It is the last ever game for Stage 2, 2021 APAC North Division. And we're going to be seeing who will be ending up in that top seed. The second place is up for grabs. That is what this matchup is all about. And the winner will get to prepare themselves against Kira, whereas the loser will still have to wait to find out who their opponents will be.
And no one likes waiting. No one enjoys waiting. Waiting is terrifying because you don't know what's at the end of waiting. Could be some lovely surprise.
It depends on what you're waiting for. Because if I'm waiting for the end of my for my train to arrive,
if you're waiting for your train and the train arrives, you always assume the train is going to arrive. If you're waiting to find out your opponents, I would say that's a mixed bag of waiting, because you know you still got to do homework.
What would we be able? Yes.
If you're waiting, a bad wait would be if you're waiting for a dessert. And what
if you're waiting for ice cream and the ice cream is melted when you
No. Or if you're waiting for ice cream, you're really excited about ice cream. You're like, wow, I love ice cream. I'm so excited about ice cream. Ice cream is my favorite thing.
Okay.
And then they bring out a fruit loaf, and then you're like, I don't want this.
I didn't order this.
Take this fruit loaf, plant it in the garden, and maybe it'll grow into more fruit, and you can enjoy the fruit. You can have all the fruit loaf you want. I wanted ice cream. Hi, welcome to Chalet, the final game. APAC North, bow, bow, bow. Everything generally roughly decided in terms of who's in the calls now. It came down to second class time, which is great. I love it when it goes pretty much all the way to the wire. But now also we still have seeding. We still have two fantastic teams, and we still got to see who is the one that claws their way through. If you have somehow missed all of this phase, let me tell you some cool facts. First of all, Fnatic, pow, they've been doing so much better. It's been so good to see. DWG KIA, they sort of plateaued for a little bit. They had a little bit of a pulling off the gas for a team that really hit the ground running in the first split. They slowed down, but they have always had potential. They've always been sort of knocking on the door of success. So this could be a good game for DWG KIA if they can start to try and find some ways to punish a rejuvenated Fnatic.
That's definitely true. One thing is for certain, though, both these teams will be making it into that top 4 and top, second place, third place. They'll be ending up on either of these two. The big difference is that one of them will know their opponents already. The other one will still have to wait for the final play day of APAC South to end. Doing it on Chalet. Fnatic, who have found themselves, as you said, in a better form than we've seen them before in APAC, because, they were the best team in OCE when they were playing in OCE. After that, went over to APAC North, didn't really have the best of times, barely avoided relegations, and now fight for a spot, potentially at the majors. Need to get to the quarterfinals, need to get to the semifinals. First, then they need to decide their seeding. For both these teams, however, that is the case. It just depends on, you could almost say, which one you want more. Do you want to play against APAC South, against the players and the teams that you're known for, you're known with?
DevMarta and the boys.
DevMarta and the boys, they will be.
I still love that as like a little group.
I'm pretty sure they'll be providing the commentary for it.
Love them. Love those boys.
Listen to DevMarta, Guz, Manic.
This is the test now. Are you going to get all of them?
I don't know. I know Xenox, yeah, but I don't know if Raven still casts. I don't think he does anymore. He's like my brother from another mother, It's like...
You could fit in with a lot of them.
I know.
you look like the lost APAC South brother.
APAC South brother that is born in the Netherlands.
Okay, 2 minutes we have left on this opening round, and we find the first frag. Yes! Loose gets dropped and picked up almost instantly. Katsang wants to try and get a bit of revenge, but is well aware of the pressure that's coming from the fireplace door, and Mentalist makes sure to lock off on the kill, trying to double down and not let them escape, but it's Mag and the swing round again. Fnatic, a beautiful little thread for thread synergy as they make sure that they wrap all of that engagement up on the connector in a nice little bow, and then send that bow 6 feet under with somebody to go with them. Now, they have a lot of time to try and start pulling apart the hold on the top. Rin and Mentalist find one apiece, different engagements as the construction around Piano starts to fall. Going to buy themselves a little bit of time, realize that the Fnatic close down is coming, but with what Fnatic needs to do on box, they have time.
Yeah, The long angle's being created here to provide cover, and that forces Rin to fall back. Now, if these RCEs keep on coming in the right positions, they are just aware of the player that he's holding from the rotation. Coated is a little bit further back, but it should be an opportunity to actually fit inside of the Half-Fall and start planting. There's the hop in. That is going to be the kill. Coated gets taken out, and that means it's only up to Rin now in a 1v3 and the cover and all the angles being there.
Matt came in there hot, got it, and got the plant off, and probably hot-footed it. No. Oh, didn't. Stayed around. Oh. That is a little bit tragic. What is that going through? That's a foot through a wall. So I don't think that would have connected either way, but they pull themselves back up. Rin goes for the wide swing instead, knew that they were roughly around there. But Mag, hey man, 4K, you know where you want to be, and that is on top of this game. And he's a player that obviously is a big driving force for Fnatic, always has been. A classic character of Rainbow Six Siege. And the days that he has shown up is the days when Fnatic is at their strongest.
Definitely so, and he starts us strong here. The triple kill, Mentalist with a double. And even though they lost the opening engagement, they were able to strike back super quickly, able to pick up 2 bodies actually, instead of 1. One with a wall bang, that was guided with a drone. The other, of course, cutting out that rotation. And now Fnatic, they have that 1-round lead. It's still early on, however, we are still in round number 2 now. And that means that, well, it could still go either way, it could still go anyway. And as Fnatic they want, of course, to have that top 2. We heard it Max say during one of the interviews, top 2 is our goal. First place or second. And that's what they're going to be aiming for. That's what they are hoping for.
I think the fact that obviously they're in this situation coming in where, you know, it's an undefeated season for Cyclops. Cyclops are a very strong team. Yeah. At the minute, they're always going to be a big force. And I think Fnatic, they were rebuilding. They were restructuring. Again, we sort of said it early on. They came into this having to make some structural changes. And it was something that was out of their hands. And the fact that they've been able to build themselves so successfully from that, from what is, you know, regardless of how it goes in the grand scheme of things, all you can see at the time of a decision like that being made is, dang. As the politest way, as the stream-friendly word of putting it, we have just built up a season with a new player who's going to be a bit of a sort of holding pin for our team, and we can't keep growing without ammo. Luckily, the person that they sort of had to bring in as their 6th, Mentalist, has had an absolutely unbelievable season. He's been such a good player this split.
It's a very good season so far indeed. And Fnatic is now that team that has the ability to use and tap into that 6-man roster. Of course, Alfama not really playing this stage due to having to relocate as well. Vaccines, visas, all of that, of course, is playing a role in that. But Mentalist joining back into the roster, has been there before, is doing, as you said, that wonderful job. And you saw it in that previous round, that double kill to come in on the entry frag roll on the Yana now, and they know someone is on the library stairs. They want to take him out. They're probably going to have to get a bit of an explosive in to try and dislocate him, and they'll do exactly that with an actual RC Retiro. That is going to take care of 3 of the ADSs placed, and now they can actually get another grenade in, or maybe even an RCE to take care of the shield that is blocking off any lines of sight towards the library side.
Again, this sort of Fnatic wall that's steadily burying its way against the hold of Damwon Kia. They're able to remove the shield from the top, and Mentalist is there to almost instantly try and swing around and see if they can catch a body that might try and get a little bit aggro.
Mostly drone up there.
Coated isn't giving it away just yet. And yes, there is the drone that's sort of keeping the eye and the idea and everything that's playing. Rin suffers for it, though. Potentially went for something a little bit wider. Was that underneath? They've gone for a big drop. It might have been Mentalist who's gone for a big rotate now onto the opposite side. He's hanging around just outside the front. He's sort of resetting himself up. Now they've been able to remove that sort of crux around the core of the top floor. Mentalist can start seeing if he can read anybody inside the library. Woogieman might not be aware, but he's making sure that Fnatic's aware of him.
Plenty of damage done. Katsang gets the opening kill. Stigs will drop. It's going to be the follow-up with Lusty Doe, and another one will fall on the side of Fnatic. Going to be attempted to be refragged, but Woogieman gets out on top of that one. Beautiful shot to come through, secures his kill. One more on the window here, manages to pick that up. That's a triple for Woogieman. Now only needs to find Mag. Managed to find him a little bit earlier on the balcony. Now needs to come in big, and that is going to be the fireplace stairs. Yet another kill to come in, and it's Damwon on the back of Boogeyman to be able to pick up their defensive round here.
In that library file, Boogeyman under an absolute nightmare, because all he did there was cause some problems, dug in on a corner that is otherwise the sort of big part that you need to remove players from. You'll build a bit of groundswell elsewhere. I think next time we're around on this, we'll probably see Fnatic try and take a bit more control from the library side first. Yeah. Try and utilize some of the frag grenades from the pocket early to remove that player, remove that side, remove that core. Sure, you still have to do the work over the top of Fireplace, but I think they've realized just how much of a power position that can be in the right hands with the 1.5, whilst we still have it.
Whilst it's still there, that's for sure. Like, I'm wondering how much the pick rate of Frost will drop, because I know a lot of people say the scope is not a way to balance the weapons, but, you know, I can't help but think that some people rather have the actual gun with a 1.5 in these long angles where they play. It will definitely affect placement, I would say, of some operators rather than gadget placement.
I think we're in a strange moment with the meta. And I
think this is the best meta we've ever seen so far.
Yeah, and I like it because I don't have to try and push it at the minute, because what we've seen, this growth, is very aggressive. I think we've seen a sort of swing back round to firefights. We are balancing towards guns at this point. We're, you know, there's the pool of operators that sort of moved in to replace Ash and the gap that she left. And now we're going to see obviously changes to Sophia. We'll probably then see he's a bit of a spoiler alert for the future. Changes to Iana or Sophia or Sledge even. When Sophia's changed,
maybe even Flores, you know.
Maybe even Flores as well. It wouldn't surprise me. One less drone Flores, I would think.
I think that would be a good change for sure. Not that they are too obnoxious. They're oh, that is a good shot, Lusty. Able to pick a Rin. Will be the entry def this time around. It's the first entry frag for Fnatic. Let's see what they can build on top of this one. Need to, of course, continue to take that top floor control. In the meantime, Stigs already working on the first floor control, of course, putting down some of these Nomad air jabs. One has been deployed, the second just has been. And that is showing that they really want to go quickly, but has to be careful for the verticality.
Kassang is waiting for a little bit of a stretch there and trying to see if he can get a bit of a swing, but Mag was waiting more patiently, had an angle from all the way on the top, is able to punish them for it, and now it's a matter of seeing if they can drone out the bodies inside the bedroom. Boogeyman and Yas have it a little bit doubled down, but that just leaves coated underneath, and all Fnatic are trying to do is clear out above box. They want to get that wall open so they can clear themselves behind the long table and see if they can get the diffuser down on that short wall. They don't have to really take the entirety of the top. Sure, it would make their life a lot easier, and in the 5 versus 3 they're more likely to try and push themselves further on in this situation, because why not? But at the same time, with a minute 23 on the board, they're now going to start focusing underneath. You can see them sort of capitalizing around the fireplace side.
Now they forced off the positions that could be used for verticalities down towards the actual side below, and that means that now they don't really have any of these useful angles. They can start working their way downstairs, as you just said. You might be able to get a planted behind the dining table, but it requires you to take out the players that will be dropping first of all, and the players that are active at that very moment. And now it's talking about dropping. Boogeyman will be going in deep, and that is going to be the position that is going to be very powerful. Stigs has picked up Coated in the meantime. The last 2 players have been returned to the side, and will try and hold it off with their dear lives.
Well, they haven't quite been able to find their way in, so instead Mag just funnels and channels his way up through the core of the site, right behind the big table. They're going to get the plant. It's a 1 versus 5 Boogeyman. He's able to find the first, but it doesn't last very long. Hopped in from the backside of the room there, the Gone 6 to get the pace that they need. They were well aware of where the body was. Fnatic punished it, and DK found themselves a little bit lost in those early engagements and the positions that Fnatic were able to get into, get the hold, get the angles, and get them punished.
Definitely so. And now, Master Bedroom Office coming out. 5 kills for Boogeyman so far, but also 5 on the side of Mag. It's a game that could have the potential of going really close, but it could also be a game where one team will now start to create an advantage and walk away with it victoriously in that second seed. Because it doesn't matter how you win here today. If you win, you will be second seeded. And you might be wondering, well, why? Because there is still a point in between them, right? Like, so an overtime win surely wouldn't be sufficing, but then I bring you the tiebreaker rules, which state, rule number 1, head-to-head. And that is this game.
It's rule number 1.
Rule number 1.
It's the most important rule.
And the rest will matter for this one.
Observed by Medics in the top right. That's cute.
Medics, the Croatian sensation.
Croatian sensation. One of the Croatian sensations.
He is the king of pigeons, for those that don't know.
Yeah, La Pigeon.
Le Pigeon. He has created all pigeons in the world. He controls them as well. They're a Medics government body.
We're just giving you some Medics lore right now.
Yeah.
2-1 Fnatic with a great opener here. Chalet can lend itself to aggression and attacks very well. It's down to, I suppose, Damwon KIA to see if they can be a little bit more of a corrupting force in the steady early onslaught Fnatic is able to put down. The space and the angles that Fnatic are getting themselves in, the lockdowns, the way they're building their sort of sharp pincers on the players is something where Damwon KIA haven't quite been able to connect the dots and pull those dots apart to make it a much more enticing picture for them at the end of it. So it's one of those tough things that you've got to sort of steadily pull apart, and there is, as you said, an Ood. Great drone, great intel.
Here's one of the drones. Doesn't know there's going to be still a second one available to him, though. So, you know exactly they're still inside of the area. There comes the hunt around. Mentalist round the side. Will be able to pick up the kill, but not in time. It's actually Yas that got away with a kill right beforehand. So, a bit of a whiff there for Mentalist. Cost one of his teammates their lives. Still going to be a 4-on-4, though. 2 minutes left on that clock. Fnatic have the opportunity to make this work. They just need to clear out the roams from below. And Mentalist is about to find a second. He's going to go on a quick chase, but might not be in time. Misses the shots this time. He's getting punished for it. Not a single point of damage done onto Boogeyman, who gets away with the kill there. And that's Fnatic. What? What? Texas is as amazed as we are.
I don't.
What just happened?
That drone.
Can we get that on replay, please?
That
Thank you.
drone shows peace, not war. That drone shows love. That drone, he doesn't want to be any part of the violence. Or maybe he was just listening into our conversation earlier when we said Flores needs one less drone, and he's like, you know what? You're right. I'm out of here. Let's make this. That's the balancing patches. But Tex is still going to make work of the next one, the one that actually goes where it needs to. Lusty is trying to look for a little bit of a swing angle and is sort of given Rin there, who hopped out. Probably didn't know that they were that close, but still, when you're looking at that minute mark and you're looking at the site that you're holding and the positions that you know they're putting pressure on, like this, Mag able to get all the way up to the close firefight there on the bit of the rafters and the balcony, and just puts the punishment, and now they've been able to bring the body balance back into their favor.
Second time they're able to pick up a kill like that, and as you said, they have the body balance in their favor now. Of course, it should have been a 5v3, realistically speaking, at this point, as the Nitro comes down, but will not be able to hit a second one tossed out towards the balcony as well, but will not be able to find anyone, and as Katsang wanted to go for the actual kill onto the diffuser, it's Boogeyman that completes that job. It's a 1v1 situation, 50 seconds left. Is Lusty going to be able to clutch this out? Gets the stuns in to try and get some information in. It was planted right in the open, and Lusty now will have to make do. Forgot to pick up the diffuser because you need to press that button now, and the timer will hit 0. By the time Boogeyman is about to come around the corner, there he goes. Does he have enough time? Yes, he does, and DK will be able to win the round. Well played by Dam. Mag maybe a little bit too aggressive going off. Of course, wanted to help there, but lost the diffuser, and with that, a lot of time was lost as well.
Yeah, it was one of those sort of rounds where, again, a couple of curiosities that pulled things away from Fnatic, but at the same time, yeah, you could see Damwon KIA were trying to be a little bit more aggressive there against them. Boogeyman, who's having an unbelievably stand-up game so far, 9-2. 2 of these rounds are off his back. Oh, look at that. Damwon KIA have 2 rounds. Both of them have been built behind the work of a singular player, and that's a dangerous position to be in, sure, but we've seen games where a singular player who started off having a great game is a big mental factor, is something that brings the rest of the team up and gets you more into that energy, gets you more into the level. You think of Blur and Na'Vi, where he was able to clutch 2 rounds in a row, getting about 8 kills or 9 kills over 2 rounds, and then Na'Vi came back and clawed up the game. That's one example. This is one where this early on, if 2 rounds have come down to Boogeyman pulling off big clutches, sure. It's not the cleanest way of winning rounds, but
it is a way to win rounds.
It's a way to win rounds, and a win on the board is a momentum builder.
It definitely is, and that's a round that cannot take away from you. So, you know, better to win it by a clutch than not win it at all. Let's just put it out like that. You can see the form currently. Damwon on the back of 3 wins. Fnatic, 2 wins, a loss, a win and a loss. Coming into this maybe a little bit less hot than Damwon KIA might be. Still a big question as of who will win this one. I said it before, this could go all the way to round 15 before we finally have a decision where a team could start walking away with it. And for a while, it looked like Fnatic should have been the one walking away with that round, but again, Boogeyman able to clutch it out. A really important player on the side of Damwon KIA now. Not the usual star player. That is a great grenade. Rin taken care of yet again. The run out from the garage will be coming through, and Yas picks up a very important kill. Takes out Mentalist right after. That is going to be the second grenade gone. They're not going to be able to use that anymore. And now Fnatic, they need to make do with a little bit less utility available to them.
Yas is a hyper-talented bit of aggression that is always ready to burst and has been a big sort of mark for Damwon KIA this split. They've consistently been able to find themselves into these engagements. They're ready to get revenge, and we've seen Rin have a little bit of a hit-and-miss game, but at the same time, the fact that that pairing is still able to strike and keep striking shows that they're more than able to keep growing into these early engagements and confrontations. That drone is able to pop that off, going to throw the canister and buy themselves a little bit more time over the top, but talking of, Mag is making his way across a box from the opposite side. We see a single body on the back of Fireplace. They're looking to try and get aggressive. Talking of, Coded goes for one, almost suffers on the second, is going to pull back just in time as Mag goes for a bigger rotate.
Now, hasn't decided to take care of the ADSs that were right underneath the window. Instead, the shield. But I haven't been able to take up Coated yet. Coated, that's showing that aggression. Just peeking out, able to pick up these important kills. A new smoke canister tossed out to try and slow down the player in box. That will basically make sure that Mag's not going to be allowed to go for a peek. Whilst he himself, I believe that's actually Boogeyman inside of the library there, is looking to go big again with that 9mm. As that 1.5 could find an angle onto Tex here if he's quicker than him. He's running past. Tex did get the spots out twice, but not able to hit the shots quite yet.
Hasn't quite, as he said, been able to find that connection between it, I say. As he does, he finds Coated, though there is still Boogeyman, still a big pressure player above. Mag has been able to find a slightly different route round and is going to try and get the cut on the backside of that wine storage. Nobody is currently playing in there, but it makes that rotation very dangerous for Damwon KIA. They can't quite get themselves in, but who needs it? Yas is behind the bar, and all he's serving up is a little bit of pain towards Stiggs. The spray comes over the top, it's scrappy. Boogeyman comes off better, but with Yas getting the triple underneath, well, he ends up coming off best. Damwon KIA find themselves one round ahead.
Yeah, Fnatic a bit struggling right now with picking up these kills and fighting the aggression that Damwon KIA is bringing, because they are not afraid to peek. They just go for the fights because they know they can win them. And as a result, they are now in the lead. Damwon KIA, one more defensive round up on their name, and we are going to Kitchen Dining, where they could potentially close this off. Of course, the half, not the game, because we're not that far yet. It's not possible to close it in the first half, let's say it like that.
Do you remember,
you can get very close.
Do you remember once upon a time
when it would be up to 4 or up to 5?
Up to 5.
Yeah. Back then we also swapped side every round.
I know.
That is a very long time ago.
It's so strange to think of now.
Some people might be watching now and is like, what are you talking about, swapping every round?
I remember casting it.
I remember to be like, okay, so I was playing with my friends, right?
Thanks, Matt.
And oh, hold up.
You don't have to read it. I'll just send it.
Okay, no worries.
The audience can read.
So I was playing with my friends, and they love watching Counter-Strike, for example, as esports. And then when they made the change, when it would be 6 and 6, they were like, "And now it's too much like Counter-Strike." I'm like, "What are you complaining about?" But yeah, I think it's been a great change, because teams have been able to adapt their defenses time on time just as well as their attacks, and you can really start to build up that rhythm. And it's now been a change, of course, that's been here for a very long time, as we again see that grenade to come in and instantly the run out after from Yas, which has been cut off, unfortunately. Either way, round number 6, the last one of that first half. And this is the opportunity for Damwon KIA to pick up their second round in a row. Or, well, not in a row, because you know what I mean, to be able to get 2 in front. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, they
win the half.
Put themselves 4-2 in the half, a map that sometimes can be explosively either way. It's a map that is still developing. It's finding its teeth, finding its feet. It's exciting to watch teams bring themselves to this map. And talking of, Fnatic are bringing themselves yet again with this huge amount of pace. DWG KIA are seemingly a little bit more attuned and aware of it, but this was one where obviously they were handed a couple of deaths by the fact that Mag just sort of swung onto the door. It was a big clutch that pulled them back in. Can they grow from that? Can they start to build a little bit more of a pressure here? As box underneath falls, they almost suffer. Save by the Brelt Grismot that gives them a little bit of a berth there. Zafir can slip out, and so can Mag as they get that box open, but there's still a lot of work left, and Yas is making it so much trouble.
Rotation seems to be coming in here from Fnatic as, of course, he sent the lifeline. Really saving his life right there as the aggression again being brought by DWG KIA. Able to pick up the amount of kills they might have wanted, though, as Mentalist is going on a chase. That is Yas, that is in the basement, currently being chased all the way back. Criticals are being created right above him as well by friendlies to provide a bit of cover, whilst Tex wants to take care of some utility. They shortly will be finding out about the player that is right behind the dining table, but they do take care of a lot of these bandit charges. There's still one left, however, and if they do not stop him from going for the bandit trick right now, that is going to be an extra thermic loss. No, Coda, you could have gone for that one. You can place it still. There is time, and now it's going to be too late. That wall will open up, and an angle will be created. A drone here will be giving away good spots, and that means they're going to be holding down that angle. A grenade is being cooked in. It's going to get tossed in, and that is going to be the kill. And bring it back to a 4-4.
Now, this is the sort of clearance of space we talked about before, but look at DWG KIA on the second story. They're trying to steadily retake and apply the pressure back in. It allows this space. It allows them to try and get the cover onto this diffuser here. Rin is trying to get the spray over the top, but it's the cover over that is the one that builds behind it. Suddenly, just Mentalist left alone, but not for very long. A triple kill from Yas to lock it off. And as I said before, if the energy of Woogieman is what is needed for DWG KIA to find some fire and find some fuel for this fight against Fnatic, who came in kind of gun swinging, well, look at the result now.
It's definitely starting to show that first half, DWG KIA eventually in control. It was pretty back and forth until really these last 2 rounds where DWG KIA is able to set themselves up with a 2-round lead. Will it be enough, however? They're going over to the attack themselves now, and you know, it was mentioned on the desk before, they only played the map recently. They only won it 7-0 recently. Fnatic is up for a big task. They're going to have to attack, or defend, rather, the attacking side of DWG KIA now, who have shown to be quite successful on the map. Quite proficient as well.
7-0 is quite successful.
It's quite successful.
I would say it's the most successful.
I don't think you can get more successful.
No.
Maybe, well, if you get a 7-0, at that point it just becomes a speed run. Like, how quick were the rounds?
Yeah,
you know, that's the only
Games
other
done
KPI
quick.
we can use to try and find out how successful it was.
Yeah. So, Fnatic, you find yourself a little bit on the back foot now. You were built behind some of the aggression in that fantastic combination of Mag and Mentalist. We saw them hot droning each other. We saw them pushing alongside each other. We saw them pulling players apart. Lusty being able to get a bit of a swing there. Tex and Styx, unfortunately, haven't quite been able to find their way into this yet. Tex often lights up more on the defense when he's sort of in this Jaeger role where he can find a little bit more time. But this is a player that is that unfortunately been a little bit hit and miss. When he's hit, he's 17-4. He is an absolute nightmare. But it's that consistency that is, you know, such a tough thing to bring and actualize and materialize, especially when you start on a bit of the back foot like they have.
Definitely saw some quick pace from DWG KIA, however, into the basement. The big garage. Getting some drones in, trying to move through. The rest, of course, will be rotating themselves. Okay, he's going to open up the big window, the window all the way in the back there to cast a barricade. So, I was going to say, like, are you really going to get that one when you're that close? But no, it's going to be for a very long one away. Mentalist now is very well aware of that. There might be coming, you know, there might be some pressure inbound. That balcony has to stay aware of it, has to stay near it. Whereas the rest of DK is just setting themselves up. We see 2 people repelled up on Solarium. Katsing still below, is holding the trophy hatch, waiting for someone to potentially drop, and verticals to be used by Rin here, which will be challenged, but at the moment Mentalist is thinking about going, it's Rin that goes off the angle.
Can they find this early body? You can see them all setting up around the top of Mentalist there, who's still dug in on that bathroom. It's a bit of a pressure position to be in. Obviously, the castle was the first pull, so he would have had an idea that, hey, I'm probably going to be under fire at some point here, but the longer we find ourselves sat in this little bit of a standoff, this showdown, waiting for somebody to pull the first pistol and start trying to pop the head of their opponent, it'll probably come now. Under the EE1D, Katsang drives in, swings wide, can't quite get anything over the top as they try and solidify their hold here. They've pushed past the first mirror window. Not going to smash it as of yet, though. They still have work to be done, and they're a bit concerned of potentially the swing that might come from box. So, still on with the hot droning, still on with this steadier idea of control. Piano itself, there's nobody currently in there, I say, as we see the Goyo of Mag rotate through. They have that shield on the Piano to get some cover, and they only have a minute left now.
55 seconds left and the first kill comes in. Stigs grabs the one onto Yaz, and that is going to be the entry and a man advantage here for Fnatic in these final 50 seconds. Mirror windows are being popped. The pressure is coming in from both the balcony and from the box side of things, and it is going to be Mentalist that loses his life. Back in a 4-on-4 we go. Coated, however, very low. Needs to go in for the plant. There's going to be a bulletproof that gives away his position. 25 seconds. Mag is about to come around the corner, but it's not going to be able to quite hit him yet there, but suppresses the one onto the balcony. Gets the kill. The cover is there as well. The plant goes down, and the Nitro confirms the kill, but we're in an effective 2-on-3 situation with 40 seconds left on the clock.
Well, they might not know that the pickup's coming through here. It's the wise move. There it is, the rotation, but Lusty sprays through the body of a dead colleague, and Stigs does a clean one on the other side. Fnatic get the retake, get the plant back. The C4 and the push came at the right time. They had the cover for the C4 throw as well, who went down but got back up again, and then went down again. But at the same time, they did enough to claw that back in, and when Damwon Kia found themselves a bit pressured for time with how long it took to sort of get themselves actualized, still getting the diffuser down on that primary site, on that opener, shows a good bit of hope.
That's it. They managed to get the diffuser down. Unfortunately, we're maybe a little bit too greedy on these final couple of kills to come through. Knew that the pickup was going in. Of course, great way to peek it, but was maybe a little bit too late. Could have been a double kill if he was a little bit earlier. Or maybe should have just picked up the kill and back off in that case. Just wait, let them hunt you because they need to defuse. And if you have the angles to support that, you should be in a good spot. Either way, it is going to be Damwon Kia still in the lead. It's 4-3, and it's Fnatic that have just managed to win their first round on their defense. Going up to the second side we go, as you see it happen right here. Just to cover the Nitro to come out from Mag. Attacks a bit of a decoy there, taking off the attention of what was really coming in, which was, of course, that C4.
Protect Mr. President.
Yeah, something like that. But the Nitro being the president in that case?
No, well, the Mag's the president. Throwing the Nitro.
Yeah, definitely. Either way, we find ourselves 4-3. And Fnatic, well, they do want to have that second position just as badly as Damwon Kia does. I'm just thinking, who would have thought that Damwon Kia would have... Is this a double spawn peek we're seeing?
This is
okay, either watching either side. Very interesting, okay. Are they going to find anybody? Oh, Rin is close. Rin gets a kill onto Mag.
Where was Mag? Was Mag Solarium?
I think that was Solarium window. So they had 3 people spawn peeking this side of the building. And they lost 1. They could have lost 2 because Lusty was still out there as well. And not a single point of damage done. So, well played by Rin. Able to pick up the kill there and not losing his life.
Okay, Fnatic.
It was curious.
You tried something. It didn't quite work. But you still have most of a round. Rin being able to strike there, I guess it's one of those things where if a team was being a bit, you know, not cautious, they would have ran straight into that. I think, and this is one of those strange statements, I think if at least one other person had spawned over there, that might have been something that they were gifted with there. But the fact that it was just Rin means that Rin is going to move cautiously.
Definitely so. Just the one man standing. And now the extra thermic to come in, and Tax is stuck because of the E1D. They'll be able to move out in time, put up a little bit of pre-fire towards the balcony. Unfortunately, though, will not hit anyone. So we find ourselves with just, you know, over a minute and a half left. There's that one Kia that has done quite a bit of work already, but they're trying to clear out that top floor first. And there is going to be some Prismas to help with that, as grenades are about to be tossed over to deal with any breach denial that is going to be taking care, of course, of an extra thermic. Breach has been made. Mirror window, however, still on point, and that is going to be a very difficult piece of utility to deal with.
Steady collapsing and clearing of the space. As I said before, once upon a time, you're just trying to make yourself have a bit of a pocket of safety. Then you can try and stick the diffuser down, because it turns into a little bit of a backline. It's sort of in a strange way. It's a little bit like CC, where you're not entirely able to get the full clarity across the two sites. So you're just sort of trying to make yourself a little bit of a pocket of safety and hoping. But with Tex doubling down and holding the barrel, he's able to find two on the backside. Lusty is going for a bit of a rotate underneath, I believe.
Might be, I'm not quite sure. At least Tex still active. The smokes have worn off. That was the counter to the mirror windows. However, unfortunately, no counter to Tex, who picked apart the push and now DWG KIA in a 3 and 4 situation. Still 30 seconds left. It's a bit of time to work with, and as the diffuser is making his way back into the actual fireplace. Actually, no, it was a singular player. It wasn't even a diffuser. This diffuser is up on the top floor. They need to make their way down at some point, and the breaching charge will be at least putting some pressure up onto the mirror window and deal some damage to Mentalist.
Well, there's that mirror window pop. They went for the ult and a take, but they've only got 9 seconds. Whoever runs in now is going to have to hold on for dear life and then some. The spray round gets caught by Tex with the triple as Katsang tries to go a little bit deep for at least one back. But Fnatic, from what was a creative, and that's
peak. Yeah.
a creative peak, but that's like when a teacher describes something as creative. They're like, it's very creative, but let's try this later on in the round. and they brought it back together, and it's fair play to them for being able to restructure, trying things out. And as I said, I think if there was more than just Rin there, they probably would have been a little bit more carefree on their approach. They went for something. They were punished by the sheer fact that Rin was being cautious, and they were able to get that early one. But either way, 4-4, they've been able to pull themselves back into even. This, however, might be the toughest site, as DWG KIA are setting themselves up. Similar lineup, same style of push. We will see.
Tertiary site. We actually got a lot of people telling us what fourth is.
We did.
Quaternary. Quaternary. I don't think we'll see it here today. Who knows, actually? We might see it today. I don't think we will, at least not this round. So do see the clash to come out. Often, of course, mobile shield will be used where the main point of pressure will be coming from, of course. Very often we'll be playing around the blue stairs, able to hold off the corridor towards the kitchen, but also blue below in the basement. Maybe sometimes playing on that little bit of a in-between part so you can give information on either. You're basically just, I wouldn't say a maestro camera, but at some, I think that is if you need to choose a piece of utility that is information giving, what would it be most closest to?
I mean,
I think Evil Eye would literally be the one thing, because it does some zaps, it doesn't quite take out drones, can deal some damage. Just, you know,
if you want to contextualize it like that, then yeah,
it's a walking Evil Eye.
You've contextualized it. Yeah, congrats. Maybe one day it will be like a whole. Imagine if it was like, you know, those like bubble suits that you see.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Like fairs, like.
Imagine just jumping around the map like that.
Every time, every cast, I swear, every Playday, we suggest a new horrific game mode.
Yeah.
For I think it's Seb who's in charge of the events team.
He's part of it. That's for sure.
I would ignore anything.
No, don't ignore it. Just put them all in. Honestly, it would be the best events ever.
Pressure over the top here. It's a different take as to how we saw Fnatic try to get a handle of this site itself. And what I sort of asked that we might see from Fnatic was this more direct line into the top of the site itself. Try and get control of the library and try and file all of the bodies inside away. They're steadily making things uncomfortable. The big spaces, the big watches, you can see the lines that they're setting up to try and make this mirror of Stigs be under a lot of pressure. It's a big backline, it's the pop of the E1Ds. It's a little bit of movement to mean that grenade doesn't catch them, but the spray surely does. Stigs pops up, drops, yes.
Very smart play. They're actually moved inside of the library at the moment that the E1D came out. The grenade was tossed into behind the mirror window, and then they had no clue that it was inside library, able to pick up that kill whilst rotating back. Lusty picks up a kill onto Rin. It is DWG KIA at this moment that isn't really able to get anywhere so far. They're just trying to contest whatever they can hold on to, and, well, they have 2 E1Ds left and 2 extra thermics. That's basically about it. And as the flashbangs are about to come out, they're all being taken care of one by one. Let's go to picks up a kill. It's only up to Katsang now. Not even that.
Not even that. Fnatic, they dig in, they make sure that they hold off. I think it was very clever movement, as you pointed out, when they realized the amount of pressure that was about to come to the mirror window, and they realized that the attention was about to be played. They know that they're a team that's very good with grenades. They said, right, well, let's not be behind this mirror window, because that's what they want to put pressure on. They had the angle from obviously the fireplace window. They had the cross, and they had themselves in a very solid sort of situation there. But
with 2 Fnatic players on a toilet break.
I'm expecting...
I thought it was going to be a timeout that got called.
I thought it was.
It said TP, but I don't know what TP means.
Teleport.
Okay. Toilet
TT.
paper.
So they meant to type TT.
Oh, one's back. Let's see if the other one will be back in time, because we're about to get underway. It's unfortunate. Either way, it is going to be Fnatic on the defense. Yeah, once again, they're a singular round away of making it over towards the match points, which will put them up in a quite good position. Do we have the Tachanka coming out from Tex? That was Tex one of the ones that was gone.
Tex was one of the ones that was AFK.
So did we get a...
I mean,
6-pick Tachanka?
For those that are curious, those decisions run through admins. That was so the team that's observing and all of that stuff. They only ever go from what the admins tell them. They don't go from what's in the chat. So if you're wondering why, it's because the information likely wasn't relayed to obviously medics who have to. You have to follow the guidebook. You have to follow the rulebook in that situation. So. That's one of those.
That's one of those indeed. And that does mean, however, we get to see Tachanka for now. Tex probably assigned to it, playing with a DP28. Having, of course, the Shumika launcher as well. Going to try and hold on to the library for as long as he possibly can. I mean, it could be actually quite useful, because as soon as they start jumping in, you just light the entire room on fire.
Wow. DK, can you try and build yourself back up from this as you start to connect with the Fnatic hold here? Still setting themselves up, still getting some clarity of information. You can see the castle buried underneath. Yeah, but look at this. Katsang as being a lot more direct with the attention that they want to pay to Bathroom this time around. Before they sort of kept it on a bit of a long arm, here they've gone right on the window and it's paid off. Katsang above is able to take the fight there onto Mentalist. They didn't expect it so close. They hop in almost instantly behind it with Coated, getting one more. Their mag goes down. They've lost themselves a bit more ground, a bit more time, and a bit more energy as the pops start to come off around the other side.
Quickly trying to get a Nitrocell over. Unfortunately, no one left in Solarium. Now, DWG KIA quite close already inside of the bathroom. Of course, some inside of... Oh, that's going to be the TP28 that's going to be coming around the corner here. It's actually the Shumika launcher that gets used. Katsang has to stay pushed. The E1D is in. That is going to be some pinks to come through. A little bit of damage will be done, and it's a 5-on-2 situation now. Lusty and Stigs, the last two standing on the defense here for Fnatic. Here, window got taken out by Stigs himself. Goes aggressive. Will not be able to find that kill either. It's only up to Lusty now. A 1-on-5. Needs to ace clutch. It's a flawless round instead. It's DWG KIA able to bring it back here. That is going to be potentially the timer now to be called by DWG KIA. I believe they called for it earlier, but maybe they want to keep on going now. Now they managed to win in that round. Use that momentum in your favor. As we're on 5-5 now. Whoever wins this round will be on match point. They will have the ultimate shot. It's not a T is in the chat. That is the timer now to come through. As, well, it is going to be the point where now there is this important round. Whoever wins the next round is going to be on 6 first. That means they have a singular point. But that singular point doesn't mean anything. Maybe in the overview standings it means something. Like stage 1, 2, and 3 combined, which will tell you who gets relegated at the end. What matters here is the win. And if you manage to get to 6 first, that means you have an extra round where you can lock off the win. That's basically it. If you are the ones that is fighting back constantly for match points, it's draining because everything needs to be pinpoint accurate.
Which is tough. It's tough in this sort of situation. It's tough on a map like Chalet that breeds aggression. It breeds fast play. Yeah. And fast play is when mistakes are the most likely to happen. On a sort of slower push on a slower map, you have a little bit more room, a little bit more time to reconfigure, restructure, and sort of assert your pushes and your holds. But Chalet, especially under that unwavering wobble of an E1D, makes things pretty dangerous.
It makes things pretty dangerous indeed. And it's again being brought. Woogieman picking it up. This round will be the important one. Who is going to be able to walk away with the match point in the fight against second place in the seedings? That is what we're playing for here. Not a major spot, not directly at least. You have the opportunity to qualify through those playoffs. Top 4 will go. Of course, all of them will be in, both these teams. Just really will depend on the next 2 rounds. Maybe the next 5 rounds. Maybe. Depends on if we go to overtime or not. But whoever wins this one will have the best exit point for that also valuable round.
Wow. Now we get to see Fnatic seeing if they can push themselves to that final brink, that final possibility of going into the end. Over a tough and tricky line. 5-5 Fnatic. So close. Building back. And as you said at the beginning, first and second, that was always the angle. Sort of ended up with second, with Cyclops taking the bit of the mantle. At that point, you know, you can see how strong Cyclops as a team were. You're like, right, well, there's still a lot of other teams. A lot of other teams that otherwise had been in control of Fnatic over the past couple of splits, had been able to put a lot of damage against the team that was once so undisputed in the entirety of the region, in the entirety of the sort of build of APAC Siege. They are a threat. They are an integral part of that. And this split, for the first time in a while, reminds a lot of people why.
It definitely does. It shows the promise that they have. It shows the potential. That potential, you know, maybe even win in stage 3. They have been improving ever so slightly, and that is going to be the mirror window that is going to be able to be shot from the balcony. I'm not quite sure if that is just misplaced. It's also just being watched for now, so waiting for someone to get in a position to kill a player behind it potentially. Because Rin, there is a player right next to that mirror window, and probably doesn't want to open it until they have someone into a position where they can try and actively challenge it. And that smoke canister will be guiding it. Yes, it's going to be able to entry into Solarium. Now they're waiting. That is going to be the kill. There it goes, and the mirror window will follow right after. Rin, the trigger discipline, the patience has paid off.
Yeah, you do have a couple of questions as to how they're able to get into that position. You assume it was maybe Tex's job to be a bit of a countenance just based on positioning alone, but still, now you've lost that body, you've lost a big part of the hold, you've found a bit of a weakness and a flaw to that plan, and now it's something where Damwon Kia can try and build behind it, an early bit of punishment. But to be fair, we've seen Fnatic pull back rounds where they've suffered an early bit of punishment when it was there. But we haven't seen them suffer it where it's doubled down. Mentalist is the next off the board. Katsang with the swing round. That is the duo that was so big on the attacks, suffering on the defenses. But thankfully the rest of the players have stepped up. Unfortunately, so has Damwon Kia as they put another body down.
Another body will be taken care of indeed, and now they just need to deal with a little, you know, the last pieces of utility whilst it's a 4-on-2 situation. Well, make that 4-on-1 situation now as Kota gets the kill down onto Styx. That's the mirror gone, the second mirror window out of play. And Tex now giving away his position, is going to try and pick the fights in this long range with a 416 carbine. He's going to be able to hit anybody as the plant now goes down. Soon 45 seconds will be on the clock, and soon he needs to fight back in a 1-on-4 fashion. And that time is now. Needs to find the first. Is not able to do that yet. That mirror window is open. He's going to be able to get it down, but is left on low HP.
Trying to solidify at least a kill, but when you're out of bullets and you're out of time, and Zofia hits another floor, and there's a drone too. Oh no, every nightmare is coming true at once. And that's one of those situations where Damwon Kia, they were gifted an early bit of control.
Yeah.
And from that moment, you look at the body that they took out, and you look at where that was, suddenly a lot of the rest of the hold has this big weakness because that mirror window is massively isolated. Mentalist is now massively isolated. It's very tough to offer any other pressure towards Solarium or towards the sort of backside there. Mentalist has been isolated in that situation before. He tried to get out of there, but as you said, and as you commented on, what Rin was waiting for was other Damwon Kia positions to be ready for that engagement to come through. As soon as the head popped up, they took it. They took the mirror window, but still, that time, that 20 seconds, for them to sort of say, listen, I'm in a great spot here. you guys need to sort of get a bit
You
of a
just get a
shift
move on, because I'm just going to wait here until the mirror window player pops up so I can get that kill. That's exactly what happened. And now it's Fnatic on the back foot. It's Damwon KIA to be the team that is the only team here with the opportunity to pick up 3 points, because that opportunity is gone for Fnatic. But we are going to Bar Gaming now, a site which has proven to be successful before. Damwon KIA, well, they just need to nail one more of their attacks. I have a feeling they will be starting on the attack themselves if this heads to overtime.
Well, they've been able to pull some of these sites and some of this play before. This was one where we saw a lot of that early aggression come towards the library side, and they couldn't quite get the bodies out, but they've seemingly become a lot sharper in being able to punish those movements. One more round separates them from being locked in onto second place and putting themselves in a very great position for the push. One more round separates Fnatic from being able to fight their way back to OT, something that they've been able to do quite a few times. They're going to make sure that they can keep that going. A bit of a big extension here as well, pre-aiming and pre-arming themselves on the angles. There's a bit of an eye and a bit of a pressure towards an early window there, but it's a clash that you've met, and that's not going to get you much further.
Definitely not now. Decides to open up the full window as well. Grenades are being tossed in, and unfortunately not going to be able to quite hit the shots yet. Lusty playing around the corner has an ADS, of course. The shield that was with him has been taken care of, and Tax playing in this close corner. That was previously the position that Fnatic struggled with themselves. Woogieman, of course, was playing there, managed to pick up many great kills. And now it's going to be up to Damwon KIA to deal with that position themselves. Of course, mirror windows in place to provide some cover there where necessary, and that means those need to be pushed out first, and that is going to be the aim as well. Second grenade tossed in. Again, no joy. 2 more left on the hands of Katsang. Surely they want to make sure that they can get rid of the player that is playing below the mirror window.
Well, they went for the alternate push here. They went for the alternate take, the one that we saw Fnatic play with a few times on their aggression, which is to lean more into taking the opposite side, the bedroom, and then get the push sort of built behind from the other angle. The grenade doesn't quite sail all the way in. The mirror is able to survive and keep fighting. That one was caught by an ADS, and that is out of pocket, out of grenades, 4 used, none caught. And Steaks can play this much more comfortably at this point. Woogieman, in the meantime, is going to get himself set up for the cross angle. That clash means that that shield that is always at the top of those stairs is much more mobile, much more dangerous, and most importantly, cannot be destroyed. Can be pulled back, can be pushed forward, can be utilized wherever they need it to be. And that is a solid role to play for Mac.
Walking mirror window in this case. Tax just playing behind it. The attempt of jumping in is ready though. Many of them want to go in, and there you have it. Yes, inside of the library now. Spots out the player, gets the mirror, knows one is around the corner on the fireplace, and the top of it managed to get that one as well. It's a man advantage now for Damwon KIA. They need to find Tax, and they will be able to find him as well. It's up to Mag and Mentalist, the last 2 left. Mentalist with a great kill, with a great take. Brings it back to just that 2-on-3 situation. The shield is down. It's all up to Mag in a 1v3. The plant goes down. 45 seconds, surely he has heard it. Manages to get the cover out. That is going to be the plant that suddenly gets cancelled as well. The shield saves the life there of Mag, but he has no clue where the players are, and it just crouches, he just turtles, because that shield should be providing some cover, and he's walking backwards through all these holes. He's using that ability to the best of its potential. As the plant's now going down, there's 45 seconds, or is he going to be able to stop it in time? No, he's in the other side, and he's not going to be winning it. Mag, he played it perfectly, but unfortunately not able to land the shots that were necessary to win the round, to bring it to overtime. And that is going to be Damwon KIA winning it and ending up in the 2nd place of the APAC North Division.
Almost a huge clutch there at the end. He was doing everything in his power, everything in his skill with that operator to try and bring some semblance of that back into the fray. 7-5. And it was a great game to end the split on. Both these teams are still in playoffs. Both these teams have a chance at getting to Mexico. That was purely seeding from 2 very talented teams, and they gave it a great go. But only one of them could be in second. Only one of them could be at the top of this game. And, well, now both of them have a lot of a fight left to look forward to. But for one last time, this split, let's throw it over.
Thank you, you two cuties. We're back on the